Well, for me, because I started from this place of extreme ignorance, not knowing anyone who was positive, not knowing anything about the disease, I just began to read and educate myself, watch videos, download information, read books, talk to healthcare professionals. But after about a year of that just wasn't enough. I had to see it for myself. And at that time, because I still didn't really understand, I didn't realize that if I wanted to find out about HIV, I could find it here in my own country. I really didn't understand that. I mean, just as a kind of a side note here, Washington, D.C. has the highest prevalence rate of people who are HIV positive in the United States. 3% of all the people in Washington, D.C. have HIV. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you understand around the rest of the world, a country that has 1% is considered to have a severe problem. So the city of Washington, D.C. has a very high rate of HIV infection. I didn't know that, and so I thought I had to go to Africa, so I did. And while I was there, if I came to Africa seriously disturbed about HIV, I left gloriously ruined. Because I met people. I have to tell you about a woman who, I took a picture of her, she's on my wall, I look at her every day, and she's the reminder to me of what I'm doing. Her name was Joanna, and she was in Mozambique. And I was going to visit people that were HIV positive, because like I said, I didn't know anybody who was positive. So I thought I was going to be going to somebody's house. Well, we got this old beat-up Land Rover, and we're bumping along these roads, and we get to this grove of trees. And we get out of the car, and I'm still looking for a house, and I don't see a house. But I do see under a large tree a pile of rags. But as we got closer to that tree, I saw that pile of rags was an emaciated woman. And her story was that when she and her husband found out that they were HIV positive, their village was fearful and kicked them out, they believed. But she had an aunt in another town, another little village, who was willing to take care of her and her husband. So they moved to this other little village and had a little tiny stick house that was not much bigger than this area between the two of us here. And as soon as the village found out that she and her husband were positive, this little house mysteriously burned. So that when I met Joanna, she was about a week away from death, homeless, under this tree, unrelenting diarrhea, nothing to her name but the faded cloth on her body, and a little piece of plastic that she was sitting on. And as she saw us coming, she tried to get up to greet us, but she was so near death she couldn't walk. And so what she ended up doing was crawling towards us on her elbows and her knees, and she couldn't even do that, and she fell. And her aunt came and scooped her up and kind of carried her over to this little piece of plastic that she laid out in front of us. And this dying woman, homeless dying woman, raises herself up with all the dignity that she can muster and welcomes me to her home. I was so unprepared for that. Nothing in my faith had prepared me for that. I was a pastor's daughter. I went to Bible school. I married a minister. I'd been a pastor's wife for years. I was a Bible teacher, and nothing in my faith had prepared me to talk to a dying homeless woman under a tree. And in my head, I'm going, God, excuse me, get me out of here. I told you I didn't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. What does the good news of the gospel mean to somebody dying under a tree? Fortunately, the people I was with, they showed me how to cut down on the mat with her, put my arms around her. They showed me how to wipe the tears from her face, to tell her that I was there, that God had sent me, that He had not forgotten her, that she mattered to Him, and that even though this life had held so much pain and sorrow for her, that God had not forgotten it, and that Jesus was with her, and that there was a home for her in heaven where all of her tears would be wiped away, where her body would be healed, where there would be wholeness, where there would be acceptance, and that He had sent us to tell her that she was not forgotten. I look at her every day because she's just one of millions and millions and millions and millions of people in our world who are dying alone, who are dying rejected, who are dying because no one sees that they are dying. And because of that, it ruined me. I can't look at life the same way. How do I come back and walk through the shelves of the grocery store where I live? I mean, every shelf, there's 3 aisles dedicated to dog food. I mean, how can I get excited about that when I've been with people who are dying under trees? Life is different. I am ruined, but I'm gloriously ruined. It's the most amazing thing to know that my heart's beating like God's heart is beating. That His heart beats for the least and the last and the